Okay, according to the Hangout box thing notification, we are we are officially live, and I'm chuckling here because Nomberihito is inspiring my unwanted desire to have, not unwanted, but my unreasonable desire to have the final countdown play me in as I start these shows. So thank you for that, Nomberi. Basically, so the order of things for tonight, it's going to be a little hectic and uncertain, to be quite honest. Basically, the way it's going to work out is I'm going to start out talking. Obviously, I've already done that, but PigglesDiGaijin is going to be getting home from work. He said probably around like 10:30 or so, and so he will be joining us in a little bit. And then Jake Nalton gets back a little bit later, so if we're still going, he's going to join the stream, and that'll be awesome because they can give you guys quite a bit more experience in their answers than I can, in different perspectives too, because they live in different areas, they're living different lives, blah blah blah, all that jazz. So anyway, yeah, we'll definitely hoping to have them on here sooner than later. Both of them are really cool guys who I've had the pleasure of talking to personally in different capacities. So it can only be good, right, to have them on the show for sure. Show for sure. Sounds like Sean Connery. By the way, I haven't actually ingested any sort of mind altering substance. I'm just I don't know. I think I'm a little sleep deprived, so I'm sounding a little crazy, so I apologize for that. The other thing is that I do want to know, while we are sort of while we're building up to Piggles and Jake coming on the show, I do want to put out a note to everybody in the comments right now, um, which I will say hello to all here momentarily. Should have done that first. What a jerk I am. But um, if anybody wants to actually come on the show for a few minutes or something like that, just there's something you want to talk about, or there's a question you want to ask that isn't necessarily covered in like the titles of the show, right? Which is talking about making friends, meeting people, blah blah blah, and also how you actually go about learning Japanese if you're an English teacher here. So yeah, if anybody is interested in coming on, let me know in the comments, and then I'll like change. I'll do what Hiko does in his show and like put a link to the Hangout down in the description below, and we'll do it that way. Travis, I feel your pain, man. That must be where you like channel your musical energy from, is from sleep deprivation. Just have a message from Andre now, by the way. Just leaving work, so he should be on sooner than later, I hope. Um, so basically, I guess the first thing that I would like to do now that we are getting into the meat of it is, of course, say hello to all you wonderful people. Bakagaijin may or may not be here watching the show right now, but regardless, hello Bakagaijin. Sean Bro, winter is coming. Uh, that makes it sound like when my show starts, really bad things are about to happen, which may or may not be true. I'll leave it to you guys to decide. Travis Moore, you know nothing, Sean Bro. Adequate response, nicely done. Dumpiri Hito, great to see you. Shambro. Lisa Sometimes, who joined our show last week, and with poor Bernie, as I forget her name, Bernie Lowe. And that was a really good time. I was really glad to have both of you on, Lisa. So thanks for being here again. Dude Jericho, you amazing human being, good to see you. And Travis, yeah, we already said hello to Travis, so that gets us all caught up. So thanks everybody again for tuning in. And now we can get into the meat of it after I take a gratuitous swig of this here water bottle. But yeah, so the one of the big things that actually people have asked a lot in the comments on a variety of videos is how you go about meeting people over here. And some of the questions are, I guess I should maybe qualify them a little bit in saying that some of these questions are asking about like romantic relationships, right? Like how do you go about meeting Japanese women or Japanese men? And then the other ones are just how do I make friends? So I will answer the friends one first. And I actually, what I think I'm about to say covers both ends of the spectrum, is that if you're coming over here, you need to stop overthinking it. And I think, oh, hey, Num, good to see you. Basically, if you're coming over here, I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that because they're, you're making friends in Japan and they're Japanese people you're making friends with. I mean, there are, of course, some cultural differences, but I think the biggest disservice you can do yourself is thinking that there's some sort of different secret to meeting people here than there is in the States. Or excuse me, or in my case, the States, or, in many of your cases, actually, most everybody in the comments right now is from the UK, which is fantastic. And of course, Australia, just so Sean doesn't send me evil death threats later. Yeah, basically, I mean, the same tricks apply. Tricks isn't probably a good thing if you want to make good lasting friends, right? But go places where there are people with mutual interests. The big one I would say over here is when you get to your permanent city, if you're coming over here to work or you're wherever, if you're going to stay in Tokyo for a couple months, right? Join a club. I'm joining a running club in Fukui, which is about 20 minutes from here. And that will put me in touch with other people who like to run, right? And it's a really good opportunity to make friends and keep in shape and everything else like that. But beyond the sort of joining a club thing, as at least in my experience in the United States, the place to go is to go to the coffee shop, because if you're not going to drink alcohol, usually you want to drink caffeine or whatever in a relaxed setting. So Starbucks is really, really big over here for that. Although I'm told that in a way that Starbucks is sort of like a hangout mostly for women, which regardless, it doesn't really matter, right? So something to keep in mind. And to summarize that, basically, don't overthink it. Just go out looking to have a good time, go out looking to be yourself and find things that you want to enjoy, and sort of invariably you will eventually, hopefully sooner than later, find people who enjoy the same things, right? And then you make friends. A big component of that is study Japanese. You will, of course, have people come up to you who want to practice their English, and maybe you'll make friends that way. Probably you will. But for the love of God, study Japanese so that you don't have to rely on the Gaijin hunter, or whatever the case may be. Not to say everybody who speaks English to you is a Gaijin hunter, of course, but, But, yeah, let's open it. Let's open that one up to the floor. I know there are at least 3 people in the comments who have experience over here, probably more than I do with meeting people. So yeah, if Dude Jericho or anybody, if you have something you wanna add in there, by all means, pop it in the comments and I'll get it in the stream. Travis, I feel you, man, on the overthinking, because that's pretty much how I do everything, too. But I don't know. Got to get over it, I guess. Try our best. We'll both try our best, but yeah. And I think probably the same thing really ought to be said for romantic relationships. And I mean, I've had people ask me about the details of getting married over here, and I just want to make it clear right now, I'm not married. I'm not married. And my experience over here with dating is probably comparatively limited to a lot of people. So take this with a large grain of salt and other delicious seasonings. Basically, it's the same thing. Don't overthink it. Go out there just looking to have fun, looking to meet people and make meaningful connections, and then see what happens after that as far as romantic relationship goes. But what I will say is, for the love of God, do not go looking for people with the right reasons, right? And that's all I'll say about that. So, okay, so we've got some responses regarding the meeting the friends. And yeah, Lisa sometimes mentions the meetup.com. And yeah, it's good. It's good. I know it was really useful when I was still back in New York, meetup.com, which is cool. And I'm sure it's probably the same for Tokyo, just for bigger, more popular areas. so definitely check that out. As the name implies, it's sort of right. I think people set up like a meetup rather, and get people to come together from that area. So it's a good way to make friends. But it is, as Lisa's also saying, it can be maybe not that great for smaller cities. Like there's no meetup.com specifically for Fukui where I am. So, wah. But yeah, Dude Jericho also brings up another really good point in saying that language exchange, and typically people on language exchange, again, as the name implies, not to overuse that phrase, but yeah, it's like 50-50, I would say, like where people want to speak 50% English, 50% Japanese. That's the way it should be in a language exchange anyway. But yeah, there are definitely times where it turns into lasting relationships. And sorry, I'm having a brain fart here. But yeah, so one of the good sites I think for this is, what is it? Friends in Japan is a dating site. Japanguide.net. Japan-guide.net. And actually, a couple of the friends who live really generally close by, like in Gifu Prefecture, for example, I met them through there, and we started talking through Line before I came over. And so now I'm actually going to be meeting her and another friend of mine within the next week or two. So that's really cool, right, to have that set up. So I guess maybe that points to making efforts to make friends before you come over. Is maybe counterintuitive as that sounds. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sean, if you don't live in that, unfortunately. And yeah, dude, I mean, mostly, I would say 99% of the time, you're just looking at people who are just interested in talking to you because you have different experiences in there. And the Gaijin Hunter thing, I think, is thrown around a little too easily and loosely, and which can make for some unfortunate stereotypes, I think. But Num, oh, wait a minute. I don't think it's japanguide.net. I really hope I didn't send somebody down a terrible tunnel. Japanguide.com. That's my bad, Sean, bro. Hey, Bernie. Yeah, Num, that's an interesting question about karaoke. I've never been here. I've never been to karaoke here where I wasn't in a private group, so I don't know about. And as you said, I'm sure there has to be some kind of setup where you can go and like just sing karaoke in public or semi-public or whatever. Oh, Tomoko's in the comments. Awesome. But maybe Tomoko or Bernie or one of the people who's been here for quite a bit longer than I have can talk about whether or not there are chances to like publicly karaoke and meet people by singing drunkenly. I don't know. Okay, update on PigglesDiGaijin as I'm texting during this live stream. I apologize. He said he should be able to get in by 10:30. So yeah, the karaoke thing could definitely work. But I think the karaoke thing speaks to like a bigger thing, and which is related, which is like izakayas or bars. And I think maybe I talked about this last week, or no, I talked about it on Hiko Simon's stream on Sunday. And yeah, if you can go to izakaya, I think it's a place where you can get relatively cheap drinks and delicious like bar food. Grilled chicken skin is a thing of magic. And yeah, those are people who are really interested in talking to you, I think, and really sort of fun-loving people. And they will remember if, for example, you are outdrank by like somebody who's half your size. So yeah, so it's a good way to go. Risky Yanuar, hello. Karaoke with a group, get invited by somebody. Yeah, Dude, the only time that happened to me was when it was the last time I was here, and I was in Kyoto, and I had to make a train the next morning, and I ended up going out with like some random salarymen after work and staying out all night. And they did, yeah, that's how it happened. They invited me to like a random group karaoke type thing. But yeah, the public thing I can't really say. So PigglesDiGaijin is texting me, etc. But yeah, so that is, I guess that's all I think I have to say right now as far as like making friends is concerned. Be yourself, just don't be a creepy weirdo. I think that's pretty solid advice. As solid as I can give at the moment anyway. But yeah, as I said, if there are any people in the comments, although the comments are now disappearing from the YouTubes, which is awesome. Okay, snack bars are a bit... Okay, Brittany. I've never been to a snack bar. But yeah, that sounds cool. I mean, snacks are always good, right? Actually, before I move off the topic of making friends, I guess, in like related to the joining a club or a group or whatever, I would really, really recommend you join like one of your like a city group. Don't be a creepy weirdo can be hard indeed. I'm sorry, Travis and dude, but if you can join like a municipal group or whatever, that pretty much you go around the city and you help keep it beautiful or whatever the case may be. That has actually proven to be a really cool way to meet people, even if it's just once a week. And generally speaking, in my experience, it's sort of older people, but those older people sometimes will introduce you to younger people, like their sons or whatever, who are interested in foreign cultures or whatever, and so you can go off something like that. So, and that's free, and it earns you major brownie points. It sets you apart as like a foreigner here, I would say. So definitely something to check out for sure. And yeah, sorry, Sean Bro is messaging me on Facebook. I should clarify again that website I mentioned, Japan Guide, is japanguide.com, japan-guide.com, not japanguide.net. I don't know what is at japanguide.net. Now I'm sort of afraid to go there. But yeah. And moving on, wondering what the music scene is for instrumentalists. Well, I think one of the channels you should be watching if you're interested in the music scene over here is actually Bernie Lowe's, because she looks at like a lot of live shows. She goes to a lot of live shows and she records them and puts them on her channel, so you can get an idea of like what's available over here. But as far as like if you're getting into it, I don't know. Something that you'll have to search around for a bit, I guess. But yes, so moving on from that bit, beyond the whole relationship thing, friendship, romance, etc., the other most common question I've seen on the channel is questions about coming over here and getting a job as an English teacher, and also sort of what the deal is with studying Japanese when you're speaking English all day, every day. Maybe not every day, but 5 days a week. And I think there's sort of two components to how you can still learn Japanese and be proficient at it pretty quickly. Basically, the first one is sort of a no-brainer, which is you have to study. That's all there is to it. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of the people who wonder why they're not picking up Japanese, it's because they're not taking the time to do it. So that's the first big thing. But the second big thing is, just because you're teaching English all day, don't underestimate the chances you have while teaching English to learn Japanese, especially if you're going to be teaching children. they will typically spout off randomly in Japanese, right? More so than English if they're younger students. So I can't speak for every school, but my company, I mean, we have a pretty strict rule that you're not allowed to speak any Japanese while you're at the school, because it's supposed to be a completely immersive English environment, right? And so the idea is that you're not allowed to speak at all to the students, because then they lose their motivation. Like, why bother learning English when you can just speak to them in Japanese? And so yeah, but they will still speak to you in Japanese, of course. But I'm digressing and I'm talking too much, and I apologize. But the idea is that you can still listen to them speak Japanese, and you can get the main idea, and you can speak back to them in English, right? So you're allowed to understand Japanese, and I think I made this point the other day in one of my recent videos. You're allowed to understand Japanese and sort of, in a way, show you understand it. And I guess basically what I'm trying to say is don't underestimate the value of passive vocabulary, because I think already in the what's basically like 3 full weeks of me teaching, I've already picked up a lot more Japanese just from listening to people sort of talk at me. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else or not. I'd be interested for you language learners out there in the comments, like Dude Jericho and whatnot, if you think that's a sensible way to go about it or not. But because admittedly, it is kind of like it is a passive way to do it. Oh no. Yeah, and Cinem, I told you, Bernie knows what's up with the music. Yeah, Risky, are you in Japan, or are you planning to come to Japan in the near future? What's your situation like? Because you say, hopefully I can learn something here. I don't know if that means that you're in Japan or you were elsewhere. Mm. Yeah, Travis, I think that's probably, it's unfortunately true. And I think they say something like, if you want to be really good on a language, it's like 2,000 hours is the minimum to be not fluent, but proficient, right? Dude, the question was just, is do you think being able to pick up passive vocabulary during when you're teaching English but they're speaking Japanese to you, do you think that's an okay way to learn language? Not as like a primary method, but as a pretty good way to pick up passive language. I just ask because I know you're like the kanji and other thing master. Hi, Liam, and thank you for the question. I did study Japanese in America. Actually, at my university, I could never get into the Japanese class. So basically, how I studied was through language exchange with the Japanese exchange students, and by doing volunteer work with the Japanese culture club and things like that. So I didn't have like a extremely academic study, but I was very lucky in that I was able to come over here to Aichi University of Education, which is about an hour outside of Nagoya, for 3 separate semesters, and study that way. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of a two-sided answer, but basically, yes, I did study in the States. And beyond that sort of language exchange I was talking about, it was basically just many hours sitting down with a notebook, repeating kanji after kanji after kanji, connecting with people on Skype or other language exchange sites, and making sure I was talking with people for 1 or 2 hours a week, because that's really what it comes down to, is putting in that time, as Travis Moore has said, and we sort of said. So, and make it fun. You know, I think the more fun you can make it for yourself, whether that is, like for me, for example, one of the ways I used to study was by playing really old Dragon Ball Z games on like a SNES emulator on the computer, right? Like really old, not very good Dragon Ball Z games, but it gave me that exposure. And basically, I mean, what that points to is your need to make it fun, because no matter how many books you look at or how good the resource, I don't think it really matters if you're sitting there like, kill me now, this is so boring, right? So yeah, sorry about the roundabout answer, but I hope that helped answer your question a bit. Hey, Wandering Jim, hello. And somebody else joined? Okay, cool. And yeah, Risky, really good luck. I hope maybe it seems like you might not have the chance, but you know, stay positive and I don't know, set a goal, you know, and see what happens, man. I think you might be surprised for sure. And yeah, Bernie, I think you're spot on with the grammar, especially when you're dealing with kids who, I mean, basically, you don't want to emulate the language of 3-year-old kids, I would say, for sure. And yeah, Lisa, really good point with the flashcard apps. I use Anki, which I like because you could make your own flashcards. So yeah, it's okay, but I guess it's also how you interpret it. Yeah, actually, dude raises like a really good point. In that you need to be conscious about whose Japanese it is you're listening to, because there are some really big differences between like age-based Japanese and also gender-based Japanese. And maybe I've talked about this before, but when I first started really getting into Japanese when I was in Nagoya. Hi Ru, hey, good to see you. When I was in Nagoya, all of my friends were women. You know, like female students, most of which were Japanese, others from Indonesia, Thailand, places like that. But because of this, the Japanese I learned was very sort of feminine Japanese. And saying that, I would like to point out, it seems like sort of seems kind of like an offensive thing to say. At least back in the States, if I were to say, oh, that's feminine English, I feel like, I don't know, it somehow seems offensive anyway, and we don't need to get into the whole, like, the debate about that. But I'm digressing because that's who I am. But okay, so basically what I'm saying is that yes, Dude Jericho is so spot on here. You don't want to end up talking like an old man, nor do you want to end up talking like a 10-year-old. And also, this is the reason why I really caution people against studying Japanese purely based on manga or anime, because just as you can end up talking like a 20-year-old woman, as was in my was in my case at the time, you can also end up talking like a punk from a Japanese manga. Like, you'll end up talking like Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho or something like that, and I don't think that's really what you want. So, but I don't know you. Maybe that is how you want. So yeah, Wandering Jim, I definitely agree. Self-made decks are the way to go, because you can tell your study a lot better that way. Ru, do you buy books, or do you buy games like from Amazon and have them shipped internationally then, or how do you get your hands on those tools then, or those games then? Right, Bernie. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And actually, I'm reminded of one of my students today who is, I don't know if you guys have seen the anime Gintama, which means, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much silver balls, silver testicle. Or maybe if Tama is written differently. Anyway, point is that is sort of, he emulated a lot of the language from that show and came off sounding like a little jerk, right? So, case in point. Yeah, actually, one of the first manga I bought when I got to Japan, I went over to Book Off and bought the first couple volumes of Yu Yu Hakusho because I never read it in Japanese, so it's kind of a cool thing to have. Mm. Yes, Lisa, that's so spot on. Yeah, I'm sorry if it sounds, I don't know. You guys tell me, is it a bad thing in a live stream, since I'm still pretty new at this, to respond a lot to things like, oh yeah, X commenter name, like that's a good point. Is that a bad way to do it, or does it show I'm interested? I hope it does, because that's the point. Because I am. I don't know. I don't know. Teach me, people. Teach me. Mm, yeah. And yeah, I think that's probably, don't even listen to me. I think basically what you need to do is watch Dude Jericho's comments, what he's saying here about studying language and getting foundations down and stuff like that, because he's giving a lot better advice than I am. I would say 125%. Cool, Liam. Cool. Thanks, man. I hope it's coming across well. Yeah, Root. Actually, I bought a Japanese Nintendo 3DS, and the only thing is that it's region locked, right? The 3DS is region locked, so I think I'm probably gonna have the same trouble when I go back to the US, where if I want to sell my DS, it'll be kind of problematic, 'cause it's a Japanese version, and probably I mean, definitely most Americans don't speak Japanese or read Japanese rather. So yeah, that's a really good point. The freaking comments that get wiped. Yeah, I guess when these, I guess, yeah, if I were like getting 1,300 viewers on these live streams, I'm just like, yeah, so and so, yeah, so and so, yeah, so and so. It's probably not the best way to do it, but variety shows. Yeah, let's talk about the variety shows a little bit, or just good shows in general. I think to follow. Um, yeah, we're talking about Arashi right now, which is good. And then like Downtown, the Gaki no Tsukai, which I think they're on every Sunday. That's a really good show to watch, I think. Um, but again, you'll pick up some really weird Japanese from shows like that. But or most, and also if you watch a lot of like Baka Terebi, I think you'll probably pick up some really strange Japanese. But I think that sort of goes back to making sure that whatever you're doing is fun, right? And as far as like those no laughing games, or you get hit with a bat type of game, those are definitely fun ways. Really, demand for Japanese 3DSs. That seems, I guess I wouldn't have guessed. Wonder why that is. Uh, okay, so glad to see we're getting some love for Gaki no Tsukai, although not everybody. Rue apparently isn't a big fan of Japanese TV, but um, yeah, Gaki no Tsukai is probably, it, to me, when it's one of their good episodes, it's the best, and you can sit there and you can crack up through the whole episode. And oh, the morning show, Tomoko. Yeah, are there? That's a good question. Are you, I'll open it up to the audience out there. Are there? What are the things that you guys prefer to watch as far as your morning shows? Those of you who live in Japan, assuming you're morning people, I am. I really love Mezamash Terebi. I watch it every morning, pretty much. I think I think that's from Fuji TV, and the reason why I love it is because I think that's what I always watched when I was in Nagoya, and so I watch it every morning when I wake up here. But the colors are so bright. Yeah, that's a really good point, Travis. I guess people want to be able to play those games. Yeah, Japan has his TV Behringer, but the channels I think are pretty limited unless you get like a satellite or cable or something like that. Tomoko, I'm trying to think of the name of the show that is on Saturday afternoon, and I can't even remember the channel, but basically it's just it's like really serious news Saturday afternoon, but they have a cat, and the cat just sort of walks around and does its thing and whatever. And honestly, I think the cat is probably the best part of the show because it makes the news not seem as serious, right? Because they could be talking about escalating military crisis in the Asian nations or whatever, and then the cat's just hanging out there as they're doing it. So it's pretty amazing. Tomoko, what's your favorite morning show? Yeah, I don't remember the name. Maybe I can see if I can look it up. Cats do make everything awesome. Thank you for recognizing. Let's see if I can find this because I feel okay. Here it is. Mm, right, the cat's name is Nyanya, because the other one recently passed away. Oh, and yeah, the show is called Shukan News Shinsho, and it's on every. Good lord, I keep losing my place here as I'm trying to do this because I'm the best streamer ever. But it's on every Saturday afternoon at noon, I think. TV Tokyo. But I generally miss it because I'm at work, which sucks. But nothing to be done. Nipple clamps attached to a fan. What the hell? What is there? What is there even to say to that? Actually, yeah, Kansai Ben's pretty interesting. Tomoko, your videos about Osaka Ben are fantastic, by the way. Always good for a laugh slash very educational for sure. But yeah, people, basically, I'm gonna go ahead and say double thumbs up for Mezamashi Terebi in the mornings. I think it starts at 5 o'clock or something ridiculous like that on Fuji, and then TV Tokyo, whatever I just said, Shunkan News Shinsho, because there's a cat, a lovely little cat kitten that tries to destroy everything as these really serious anchors are trying to get out the news and somehow not have their hearts melted. So, okay, Piggles is just home now. So let's see what's going on with Piggles. Okay, guys, bear with me just here for a second so I can send Piggles the link to the Hangout and we can get him into the stream. else? Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that bit of delay. But yeah, it looks like Andre will be joining us here in just a second, which is awesome. We can get his perspective on these things and have his awesome tenor, not his tenor, his awesome bassy Jamaican voice. So Mikey Chen, who I hope all of you know out there as like fantastic chef extraordinaire who makes really good cooking videos, said that she loves kyo no dori, today's menu. Andre? Andre, hello, man. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. And in the comments, let's all give Andre a round of applause for passing his 1,000th subscriber on Sunday. Your very first 1,000, but definitely not your last.
Not my last.
So how's it going?
How's work going?
Well, how's work? How's work?
Work is work, man. Today wasn't bad. One of my better classes, so.
Nice.
Yesterday was like, but today was okay.
Awesome. So listen, we've been talking about how to the best places, not the best places, but the best ways to go about getting friends or girlfriends/boyfriends over here, and also learning Japanese when you're speaking English all day as part of your job. So I'd love to hear your opinions on that.
Oh, boyfriend.
Well, boyfriend or girlfriend, yeah.
Well, where to start? Okay. There's a language. It's just for you to be, I guess, dedicated to learning it, because you can get by in Japan without speaking Japanese.
True.
It's gonna be difficult, but you can get by with very basic Japanese, just basic like directions and quantities and basic stuff. So people have been here. I know people that have been here and they don't speak Japanese. They can say a few things, and that's it. If you want to be fluent, then you're gonna have to put in the work to be fluent, just like any other language. As everyone should know that the language structure is totally different. That the grammar structure is totally different to what we're used to. So that makes it even a bit more difficult to kind of relate certain things. So even if you try using Google Translate and you translate what somebody says in Japanese, you're like, the context sometimes is lost. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have to be careful, because there are words that mean the same thing. Takai and takai. Takai is high and also expensive.
Right.
You know what I mean? So imagine you saying, "Hey, this dinner was so high," and you're like, "What? So high? Are they talking about weed or So
right.
you gotta be really careful in how you use the context, and also you come off sounding like a real polite nerd if you try to pick up girls with Google Translate. Seriously, so example, I was going to do a video on this, but I can't find enough material. But I was saying like, you want to say to a girl, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good? I like how you look." And you type that crap into Google Translate, and it comes off to her like, "Hello, how are you doing this evening? You do look really nice. And might I have a minute of your time to tell you?" So it comes off so not cool, and so it's almost like a turn off, if you get what I'm saying. Or like I said, "You look pretty. You're hot, girl." Then Google Translate, "You are hot," as in temperature, or "You are very beautiful," and so it comes off not natural. So then it's the girl's kind of like, no. So with that in mind, the language thing is just about picking up those izakayas. You always learn there. People always talking.
Yes. Absolutely.
Izakayas. If you can go to a church or wherever they have language exchanges at some churches in Japan, so you can get that there. There's also community centers, or it depends on how big your city is. They usually have like somewhere where they teach Japanese for free to
Yeah,
people.
definitely.
So I mean, you could check that out. I haven't been because my schedule is kind of messed up, so it's not a normal thing. I work on Saturdays, so
Same.
anything that's on Saturdays, it's kind of dicey for me. So it's kind of rough.
Is there? I mean, how long have you been? How long have you been in the country now?
It's going on eighth month.
Okay, nice. So, I mean, was there a point for you where it went from like, man, this is really hard all the time to was there a switching point where you started to get things more?
Yeah, there was a point in terms of what the language or
I mean, as far as I guess fitting in the culture and also yeah, the definitely the language.
there was a big culture shock, man.
Mm.
It was how would I don't know how to say it. Like when I just came, I'm like, yeah, Japanese can't be that hard. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But it it got more difficult as you need to communicate more, and the gestures thing is such a it's so big here. I mean, gestures it helps you a whole lot. Uh, so there's a point like in the first couple of months, like yeah, I'm gonna do Japanese every day. I bought a book. I even have it right here as a matter of fact. Survival Japanese. It's a very good book actually, but I didn't use it. It tells you all like the past tense, little tricks. Basically, survival Japanese. What you need to know every day.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah.
It's after I've started learning like what people were saying to me like during conversations and during interactions with people like Tomoko and Kazuko that this started to make a lot more sense and I started to
Mm.
grasp things a bit more you know so I've been using it now much more than I should. I'm actually trying to write hiragana now properly, trying to
Mm.
relearn the hiragana, then move to katakana, because that goes a long way as well in helping you communicate.
Definitely.
I underestimated the alphabet. I should I underestimated. I forgot it. I was doing it well, and then I forgot, so I started back like about a week ago. So I am on like 30 something. I don't remember, where I am, but yeah but I'm there and I'm working on it. And I had a blog, not a blog, what's it called? An audio tape, Plimsler's method, where if I was listening to it every day as I should have been, I would have been at about intermediate level now
Right.
in terms of just understanding stuff, not about speaking, but understanding. But I'm
Right.
still a beginner still, so I have that. But I can say, what are you doing? I can, those are the things. And the children teach me so much without they even knowing they're teaching me. The little things they say. I watch them interact and say things like Mr. Te, which means show me, show me.
Right.
And kaishite, lend me. Those are the things. And the casual Japanese, what you pick up quickly. When you need a formal setting now, is a totally different thing. And polite Japanese is a whole new level of communication.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think the most common types of Japanese I've actually learned from my students is probably like bathroom
Mm,
humor because they're
yeah,
constantly making like poop jokes, right?
yeah, and oshiri,
Constantly. Yeah,
and
and
ass jokes. Oshiri, oshiri,
uko all the
oshiri.
time.
Mm,
And then the thing is too that because I don't know in your company is there like a big rule against speaking any Japanese when the students are
yeah,
around? Yeah, same,
yeah.
same. So but the thing is so they think they can get away with like saying aho and things like that. And then you sit there and you look at them like I know what you said, because you can
Uh,
you can show like you get that they're not being nice to each other. So, but yeah, that's true. The passive vocabulary, I think, don't underestimate it for sure.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
true. They underestimate you, and then when he starts speaking, like you hint at Japanese, it's all over, because then they wanted us to reel off that Japanese to you.
right. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah. What about other? Trying to think. Now, I think you got the language thing pretty nailed down. But what about the What about the meeting people? Is there a best place for you besides izakaya, for example, that is a really good place to meet people of your age or similar interests, stuff like that?
Mm, uh, meeting people, as in to talk to, as in meet and have a conversation. It's funny. You see, Japanese people are polite, yes, but then I don't know how to explain it. My person is like I can go up to anybody and talk to them. I don't care. That's just me.
Right.
Others might not have that personality. Uh, where have I just had random conversations? Even in the lines in the store, the mall is always a good place. The mall, food courts. I mean, in the mall, like you're walking around and like maybe Uniqlo, you're walking around and you see like even the store clerks and you say, hey, I need, and then I generally just flirt with the store clerks, female ones, because they're always cute. I said, oh, okay, I'm too, they never have my size. I deliberately go into some stores and I know they have my size. And I'm like, hey, do you have L size? I said, okay, sure. L size can't fit me. It's like medium, in really medium.
Right.
So I did oh no, Chotto, it's and he's like, oh, sorry, come in and say, come in and say. I'm like, no, don't worry, that should do this. And then I start talking some foolishness. I don't know. But what I've noticed is that the more I am, the lower my level of sobriety, the better my Japanese. Don't ask.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but it just flows off my tongue.
I think it's like a self-conscious thing. Like you stop worrying so much about thinking about everything, right? So you just sort of
flinging words together, and it
yeah.
sounds like something that makes sense.
But
Because
whether
all you
it
do
actually
is
makes
have
sense,
the general concept, it just has general context of what you want, and then generally, basically communicating is just once. Communication is when the sender and the receiver get the message. I mean, sorry, when the receiver can decode the message the sender sent. That's all that was communication. And the receiver gives the feedback. So I could be saying to you now, Charlie, you're the receiver, I'm the sender. I could be saying, YouTube 1,000 followers, yay, great, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you say, okay, what you got was 1,000 some followers, blah blah. It might have not been a perfect sentence, but you got 1,000 followers. I have, basically, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's how it sounds to them. So when I say like, Yokai Watch, Miteru, which is that's a sentence to them because it means like, do you watch Yokai Watch? Casually. Miteru, the tone of your voice tells you it makes a question. As well, I don't remember what is the proper thing. So like, moteru, like, do you have? Like, I would say like, uh, glasses, moteru, and they're like, oh no, motenai. It's casual, but you still say like moto imasu ka? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's you know what I mean? Something like that. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tomoko. I don't know Japanese that well. Right. So, and it's very intricate too. The uses of the articles ni, ne, no, wa, ga, ki. So it's way over my head. But I'm getting it there. Hopefully by the end of December 2015, I should be able to be having a nice conversation. That's my goal. A good conversation, at least for 5 minutes.
You can definitely do that. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But yeah, actually, like I think the place where I have like the most rewarding conversations with random people are at like the convenience store.
Yeah.
Like there's this woman, the cashier, who literally every time I go there, no matter what I say or I do, she always says, peta peta or whatever, and then she'll giggle about it after we talk, and that's how she finishes every conversation.
Oh, I think she likes you.
Yeah, I mean she's a nice lady for sure, so it's cool. It's cool, right? But, yeah.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I always mess around with my people at the convenience store. When I came, I tried to read the names. I always try to read the names because it's in hiragana.
Yeah.
So I had to read the names first. and then try to do some stuff. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
that's
Did,
basically it.
did
Yeah,
you
buddy.
did you like when you first got over here? Did you try and read everything that like popped in front of your face out loud? Because that was sort of my thing.
I
Just like for no
don't.
reason, too. Just like
No, I was just like looking at it. Oh, kayaku. I was looking at stuff and
mm,
trying to remember. First of all, I was trying not to get lost. That was my thing the first couple of weeks I was here, because these trains and all these things look the same, and all the streets look the same. So when I was walking around, I was just trying to make sure I didn't get lost.
mm. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is kind of an important more important part of it, eh?
Yeah, and I always was traveling in groups of people that didn't know anything, so it was even more funny.
uh, Now, how are people in you're living in what Toyota, right?
So yeah, yeah.
Are people more towards like the Tokyo stereotype there, where they aren't terribly helpful, or are they more towards like the Osakan stereotype, where they'll give you the shirt off their back if you need help with something?
Uh, I've always found helpful people in Toyota. Always. It's when I go like to probably like Nagoya, the bigger city. Sometimes they're like, I don't know, maybe we should. uh, Toyota always. Oh, sorry, Toyota. I haven't had a problem really in Toyota. Nagoya, so the bigger cities, people are a bit more like wary, I guess. But
Mm.
I mean, they're generally helpful. Japanese people generally, on a serious note, they're very helpful and often will walk you to your train station or to your bus stop to out of their way. You know what I mean? To show you, to ensure that you get where you're going safely. And that's one thing I must admire about them.
Yeah, I think that's definitely been my experience too. To the point where I felt bad after asking somebody for help because they went so far out of their way. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So,
true, true, true.
oh man, I lost the comments again. YouTube is being the worst right now. Okay, I got them
How do
again.
you lose comments?
Uh, the page randomly refreshed and then didn't show me the comments anymore. But
Oh, I
yeah, no,
know.
they're back now. Yeah, I think Jake is gonna be hopping on here kind of soon. I hope, because I wanna actually end this pretty quick.
Okay.
Probably like 10 minutes or so. But yeah, man. So tell us, now that we've covered the things we need to cover, tell us. I'm pretty sure that everybody here watches your channel. So I mean, tell us what's ahead for you now that you've hit the 1,000 mark.
Uh, now that I've hit the 1,000 mark, I don't know. I was supposed to do a video. I wanted to do a video this week, but this week's school is really blah.
Mm,
Because I usually try to shoot with a natural light because of how my apartment is set up. Because this light is not really that good for video, and so you can see my face. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, So
yeah.
try to get that light sorted out. So I do it in the morning when I wake up. Um, I'm hoping for, as I said, more singing, more and some original stuff, covers, original stuff, because I've been protecting my voice much better. I had a cold for like 3 months. Well, it's still there, but it's not as bad. Um, so my voice wasn't as sexy as it should be. So now I think I'm on up and up, and I've been protecting myself much better now these days.
Right, man.
So
More Sam Smith. More Sam Smith.
Sam Smith, whoever, what I
Mm,
mean, more singing, more, uh, more me, more just Andre, like how you see me talking now, like that, crazy stuff. That because I kind of had to ease myself into the videos, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel that I might be too much sometimes for some people, so I had to like tone myself a bit. And then when I hit 500, I released a little more of myself. And now I think I can just go full Andre, and hopefully that will get more views because I know I got the content. I just need the right person to see it, man. I will blow up because I'm a crazy.
Well, this is the thing, man. Like, the things that make us crazy, like those are the things that make people want to watch you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like nobody wants to watch people who are exactly like Victor or people who are exactly like Rachel and Juno or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Mm, that's true. And my editing has improved so much. Like I watched the old video, I'm like, what the hell was that I did? But my computer is trash, so I can only do so much. But now I know my cuts are cleaner, and it's just it get better. So I, always looking up to find new ways to get myself sorted out. But
Absolutely, yeah.
I know I told everyone, and I'm gonna be unstoppable. It's just a matter of time. I'm impatient, but I'm gonna be so unstoppable. It's not funny. It's not even funny. I'm not even joking. But what I will ensure is that every new person that comes after me, I will be carrying them too. I ain't leaving anybody behind because I know how it feels to like you're putting out stuff and you just say, you know what? You look and say, man, I just want somebody to see. I just somebody, because it's really, I know people say doing it for the love of it. Yeah, you do it for the love, but you like to feel like some pride in your work. You did something, and 10 people see it as opposed to 1,000 people.
Right.
You feel better when 1,000 people see, like, yeah, this is really reaching people. And
Right.
what got to me one day, I was just checking my demographic stuff, looking, hey, who's what? I said, oh my God, someone in Afghanistan watched my video. Oh my God! I was like, Afghanistan? What? What? In that war zone? Beep, 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 bomb. I can say, imagine a war going on. Hold on. Let me check this PigglesDiGaijin video quick. Boom, boom. Oh, gotta go, gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you,
Not
man.
being stereotypical Afghanistan or Greece, Israel. I mean, these things means that I'm reaching somewhere that, some people have never been. Azerbaijan, what the hell? Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I get
So,
you. I completely agree.
So it's really like amazing, and then for those who have helped me, I've really been grateful to them. And those who haven't helped me, well, I'm grateful for you for not helping me because clearly it has made me a better person and experience. And for those who watch and don't like, love you too. Those who like, love you. Those who dislike, I love you even more because that only inspires me to continue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And for those who have been with me for day one, like Charlie and Lucas and Ras and Sean and Posey, I love me and Posey. No, I'm joking. Posey and Lisi, all those people. Well, baby, I'll never forget. Ras says I'm gonna forget, but I never forget. I'll never forget y'all, man. Trust me. Even when I'm a big singer and stuff, y'all will come into my concerts free and shit. You know what I
I'm looking
mean?
forward to it, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
buddy.
And yeah,
Yeah.
listen though, I'm going to be in Nagoya quite a bit in February, so I'm hoping we can start doing some stuff together,
Yeah, buddy.
for
Just let me
sure.
know.
I definitely
Definitely
will.
in February. Woo!
Yes,
Where in
sir.
Nagoya though? Where? You know where in Nagoya?
Who,
Like
me?
Nagoya proper or Nagoya? Because Nagoya is huge.
Well, I'll probably go to Nagoya proper just because it's the easiest place for me to get to from here.
So
But
that's
I mean, how far of a journey is it for you from Toyota?
50 minutes. 50.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's like 2 hours from here or so by train, so it's not bad.
That's
So,
not bad.
but yeah, man. Well, I'll get at you online, but I'm actually
Sure.
I think I'm gonna let that be our wrap up for the stream. But thanks so much for coming on, man, and giving your perspective on this. I'm glad it wasn't just me rattling on with my far less experience. So
Doesn't matter, man. Experience is relative, bro. You gotta think about it. A
this is true.
relativity term. Because
This is,
what you experience in 1 month could be more than what I experienced in my 8 months. You never know.
I feel what you're saying. I
Yeah,
got you, man.
buddy.
All right, man. Well, thanks again, and congratulations again on the subs, man. Here's to many more.
Yeah, buddy. Thank
All
you,
right.
pal.
Peace. Bye, everyone. Stealing PewDiePie's thing. Bye, everyone.